Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Minecraft series. Today's episode is episode 6 of season 13, and we are starting things back off right where we left it in the last episode, on the little beach, where we ended our little trip down memory lane, so to say. You know, just walking around, looking at our world a little bit. But yeah, we're back, and we're going straight back into business as well today with the whole castle project. We're getting really quite close to basically all of the exterior being done. All that is left is just a little bit of detailing on the towers here, which we basically finished in the last episode. Just need a bit more wood in there, and a couple of slabs and a couple of stairs and stuff like that. There's really nothing much left, and of course the entrance still needs to be made. So yeah, that is really it for what we still need to do for the exterior, so to say. Then the towers do need to be finished on all sides yet, but I still haven't decided yet on how exactly I want to do it. So yeah, for now I'm not counting that towards it. And the entrance, well, I still need to make kind of a new design for that, because my old one just kind of got deleted since the old testing world got corrupted, so we cannot use that anymore, which is a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah, that is what we're gonna do right now. Now I must say, I think I'm also gonna start working a little bit on that terraforming I talked about in the last episode. I really think it will be fun to start doing that. I really like the natural terrain that we already got going on right here. So I think I'm just gonna kind of try and continue that all the way to that point right there. It will be interestingly difficult, I think, but also quite fun to do. I did talk before, I believe all the way back in the day, about maybe even creating like some sort of cave system down here. I think that could be quite cool, but we'll have to see how we're gonna do that. But I think I might actually start working on that terraforming here in today's episode as well, since the tower finishing part shouldn't take all that long at all. So yeah, that's kind of my plan for today here. But as I said, let's first get started with actually finishing this thing up nicely fully. I feel like it's also a good idea to just really start filling it in here. Now I do believe that is the level at which I should start putting, right? Basically one below this block. Yes, so yeah, that looks about right. I haven't filled it in completely here either, but I think I'm gonna actually start filling it in completely now. We might have to cut down some more oak in order to fully do that, of course, but that's fine. There's plenty of forests all around in this world, so that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Let's see if I still can do a little bit of speed bridging here. Oh boy, I still got it. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. But yeah, I think just filling it in completely here now might actually be a pretty good idea to really start stabilizing, so to say, what is going on here. But let's first sleep away this night and drink some water. As is the tradition here. There we go. And there we go. Alright. And yeah, when we have at least the outer layer of the wood here in place, it will be way easier to do those detailing parts extra, since I just have, or the extra detailing parts, since I just have more space to walk around on, which is really quite nice. Now I think every time I place a block, I am getting a little bit of a lag spike here, probably because of the lighting and how that works in this version, which is it doesn't work great. Let's just keep it at that. So yeah, if it looks a little bit framey, that's probably why it's constantly having light updates there when I'm placing down blocks, which the game doesn't like in this version, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll just ignore it. Also, I will take this down since we don't need it here anymore. There we go. We now have our little platform up here, of course, if I need to. So that's nice. I want to also make a bit of those stairs there, and a little bit of slabs. There we go. We shouldn't need the full blocks anymore, I don't think, for now, of course. So that's good. And I believe, oh well, that's just the wrong block. I believe it is like this, and then either like this or the other way. Yeah, well, either like, well, it's just like that. Let's just do it like that. I think that's good. There we go. Do it on all of the little sides here. Boop, boop, boop. It's quite weird how there's so little trees here and then there's like a lot of trees there. Oh wait, I cut down the trees there. Never mind. Never mind. That was actually quite stupid what I just said there. I am the one who cut down trees in this area because you know that's where we started. You know, yeah, I feel a little bit stupid for even saying that. Anyway, let's see here. We also want to make some more spruce levies. There we go. There we go. Where's my there? Boom, boom. Because we need to put those on top of these, and then we need to put these on top of those. Boop, boop. Let's see, these are actually good. Boom. Boop, boop. Oh, missed. There we go. Boop, boop. And there we go. That ought to do it. So yeah, I think it is nice to just fill this all in completely. Is of course a lot of oak wood that I need to use on it, but hey, at some point I need to do this anyway, so why not just do it now, right? And I'm talking about all 4 towers, so I do need to finish those ones over there as well. I will not for now do the straight ones because I don't really know how I'm gonna do those anyway yet, so not really any point to it. I might change it in the future and then it will just be annoying. And my goodness, yeah, it's definitely framey. I'm noticing that this version just hates light updates, which is really crazy, but whatever. Right, a couple more blocks. I'm quite certain we should run out of oak before I'm able to do this on all 4 towers, by the way. This is actually quite expensive. Oh my god, it is so laggy. Oh wow, yeah. Alright, the last one, it was the worst, but there we go. Now that does create quite a bit of darkness down here, of course, so maybe I should use some of those torches I put in here to light it all up a little bit. Oh, it looks quite eerie. How this looks. Huh. Oh well. There we go. Hopefully we don't get too many spawning things in here. Maybe I should at some point like fill up the mob cap in this world, just to not have to deal with that kind of baloney. Anyway, we need a little bit more of this, I think. And is this all of the oak that I have? Or not? Okay, no, I do have a little bit more, but it's really not that much. Yeah, as I said, I probably have to cut down a bit more in a second. Oh well, that's fine. It's not like it's that much work to do that. In fact, let's just go ahead and do it right now, right? I do not have an ender chest with me. Oops. Maybe there's some more. There's probably not going to be more oak in here, actually. But maybe. No. I do want this one removed from here, though. There we go. We don't need it here anymore. Boom. And there we go. And I'll just have these right here for right now. As I said, I might have to do a bit of storage at some point. This world might actually be quite handy. But I'm not doing it right now just yet. I don't actually know where my ender chest is. Oh wait, I think I know actually. Didn't I just place it out here? Yeah, it's just sitting there. Okay. Oops. Do we have any empty ones? No, but this is wood. Oh no, it's not. This is our handy box. I forgot all of those things. Okay, it's been a little while. Let's place that deck. So should I just make a new shulker box for oak? I'm not. I'm just gonna fill my inventory with oak right now. I don't think it shouldn't be more than that in terms of logs. I hope not. Let's fly out a little bit here so that we have fresh oak trees, which I can cut down without, you know, really ruining the terrain around my castle project. I don't want that. Around here is perfect, I guess. We're just gonna have a bit of a chopping spree, so to say. Yeah, we're just gonna chop down quite a bit of these trees. It's actually refreshing how fast this is. I don't remember it being all this fast. Wow. Because, yeah, we did just kind of go crazy on everything, right? Wow. My tools are quite good. I didn't realize my tools were this good. I guess, yeah, we did play a lot in this world already, but still, I had no idea oh, whoa, my mouse just went crazy mode there. Oops. Okay, hold on. My whole headset just went wrong as well. My goodness, a lot of just things went wrong in a second there. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, yeah, I kind of forgot how... Why is my mouse doing that? What on earth? Okay, I don't think you saw it, but my mouse just started, like, going off of Minecraft, which makes no sense. I don't even really know how that's possible, but whatever, whatever. Why is there so many pigs here? Like, a lot of pigs, actually. It's a bit weird. That's fine. Anyway, oh, there's more pigs there. Okay, okay, this is getting a little bit ominous how many pigs are here. Look at this! What? There's another one. Crazy. Crazy amount of pigs. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I kind of forgot how overpowered we were in a way in this world already. But yeah, also I just feel like I've kind of forgot how much I've already played in this world, I suppose. I mean, we did really do a lot of things. I also really tried to do a lot of things since, you know, we only get a limited amount of time every episode. And with every version, I basically only get 10 hours, which, I mean, to be fair, 10 hours is a lot of time. But still, you know, for one version, yeah, it's not that, technically not that much, you know. So with every season, I try to really explore the new versions, let's say, and get all of those things out of the way. Well, not out of the way, but, you know, make sure I get a nibble of everything that's going on in a new version. And playing it like that made it so that I play quite fast or concentrated, so to say. Like in a normal Minecraft build, you might just jump around a lot, right? Play quite unfocused, have many hours of just being AFK, or okay, my mouse is doing it again. This is getting really annoying. This is really weird as well. I feel like it's maybe due to some lag, but whatever. But yeah, I don't know. In a normal Minecraft world, just doodle around quite a lot because, you know, you have unlimited time, so there's no reason to really be speeding through anything. What on earth? Okay, it did it again. Why? Why? I have literally, in all of the years I've played Minecraft, never had this happen, where my mouse just leaves Minecraft. Like every time it just opens a new it goes to the tool thingy, to toolbox at the bottom of the screen or whatever. I don't even know what it's called, but it goes there, and I really don't understand why, but whatever. I'm rambling. Every now and then I might just make a little noise and stop the gameplay for like half a second, because my mouse does that. So from now on I will not complain about it anymore. Anyway, because of that, I, you know, play more focused in this world since there's more limited time. So like each and every episode before I started, I'm also, you know, going in it with kind of a plan. Well, maybe not every episode, but most of the episodes I go in it with a plan. Like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And when you play like that, it's really focused and you just achieve more in less time, I suppose. Which is really interesting. Really interesting. And yeah, it made it so that those 13 seasons I've played already, really, we did do a lot. And I mean, we built like a really big building. The whole castle is humongous, so to say. So yeah, it's funny that I now realize that kind of after coming back, so to say, to the series. Anyway, we are getting quite good on the logs already. I am gonna go for just a full inventory though. So we're gonna go a little bit longer. But we do also need to sleep away the night in a second here. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. Boom, boom. Drink some water. Very nice. There we go. Right, there we go. And continue on cutting down some more trees here, while I ramble on about everything and nothing. But yeah, having it been like that, that's why I like the series as well. It's so focused on progress, so to say, but not in a way it's like every episode is, you know, the millions of years have gone by in terms of progress, which I feel like a lot of the nowadays Minecraft thing is. Like a lot of people just, you know, they have their hardcore world, and then one episode or the first episode is basically more than I have done in this whole series. I don't know, I just feel like it's so over the top without that really being needed. I mean, it's fun, those videos are definitely cool and interesting, but Although I don't feel like it's needed for a good Minecraft video or anything like that. But maybe that's just me. I feel like it's just a bit, it just became all a bit much, you know. I feel like just relaxing a bit more and not really achieving all that much in each and every episode. And actually, why are there so what 2 eggs? Jeez, you guys had a good morning, I guess. But yeah, oh my goodness, a 3rd egg. What? I swear, I feel like this world is bugged in a couple of ways, by the way, because I'm going through all of the versions. I can almost not believe that it's not in some way bugged. And I do feel, I would completely believe it that due to it being a little bit weird, things like that just happen, like 3 eggs at the same time, or 100 pigs in like way too close of a vicinity of each other. Like there's just more pigs here as well. I mean, I know the test world that we got going on, that one is really weird. Wait, there's snow there? I might have already known this, but I am realizing this. Oh, we have the chunk boilers here as well. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I know in the bugged testing world, there are certain areas where there's just like within, let's say, from that point right there to that point right there, and then maybe like half a circle, right? There's just 100, 200 mobs of the same kind, like 100 pigs. 100 sheep, and I have no idea how that has possibly happened. I didn't spawn them in, they just are there. It's like one of the weirdest things I've seen in Minecraft in a way that it just doesn't make sense to me in any way. Like I don't see how that happens and why. It really is just completely weird, random. But yeah, that is something that did happen in my testing world because of the mistakes I've made in there with switching versions a little bit too quick. Oops. But yeah, because of that it happened. So I wouldn't be freaked out if the amount of pigs that are here is abnormal as well due to the fact that I've been updating two versions. Through the versions. I don't know. I don't know if it's true. Maybe it's just a coincidence that there's a lot of pigs here, but I feel like it might have something to do with each other. And with that, I think my inventory is also filled, so that's cool. I don't really feel like throwing anything out here, so we're just gonna leave those like 3 logs there. Yeah, I mean, there are just a lot of pigs here. But I also just missed the ravine, whatever. Let's go back home, which I think is over there. I mean, we should see a pretty big castle popping up any second now, like right there, right? Oh, well, right there, I suppose. There we go. Look at that. It's not really loading in though, but that's fine. Once we've gone through enough versions, we'll one day reach a version where chunk loading isn't completely bugged out. And we can actually enjoy the buildings that we've built. Looking forward to that. I am. Alright, let's get working on this one as well. Once again, it will be a little bit laggy probably because of the little spikes we get of lighting update. Maybe if I really start out at the outer edges here, I can kind of make it so that it follows a normal pattern, so to say, which will hopefully not make it as bad. Or I could just maybe, wait, no, that's not gonna work. Smooth lighting off. That might be way better here for the lag. It does look, the whole world looks less good right now, I will say. But that's fine, because I will not get lag spikes from it. And then we can turn it on whenever I'm done. Because this is like way better right now. Let's be real honest, like there's nothing happening every time I place a block now. So yeah, it's worth it. I would say so. Looks a little bit weird, but that is okie dokie. Because it's not permanent, it's just for now. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna fill in each one of these for all of the towers. Then that part is at least finished. And then we can start working on maybe a bit of terraforming. I'm really interested to see how that's going to be. What that's going to be like. It's been a while since I've done any terraforming, like a really long time. I remember doing it on, oh, what was the SMP called again? Or not SMP. Oh, I don't even remember what it was called. we had a little world, right? Sicko Survival, that is what it was called. Yeah, I remember back then, I eventually, on the Mushroom Island, started terraforming and stuff like that. I feel like I was getting pretty decent at it. I don't know for certain, it's so long ago. Maybe it was just in my head that I was getting better, but I can remember getting better at it at some point. And I was actually enjoying it quite a lot. I made like those time lapses of terraforming the whole island. Never finished it though. Quite sad. But yeah, the Sicko Survival world kind of just ended at some point. That's how those things go, I suppose. Oop, there we go. There we go, cool. Yeah, the Sicko Survival world was quite cool though. I must say, I'm still quite happy with the things that we did on that world. I think it was a pretty cool world. I mean, we were just a couple of guys seeing things like Hermitcraft and Psycraft, mainly Psycraft actually, building the most ridiculous things ever. And we were like, alright, we're gonna do that as well. And we tried, and at some points we did some cool stuff. We definitely did some cool things. But I mean, that's when you realize that when it's not your job, it's actually quite difficult to create that level of craziness in a world within any normal amount of time. I mean, it's definitely possible, but yeah, I mean, you see it on a video and you're like, oh yeah, we can do that as well, and then you realize that for us especially it will just take years to do something like that. I mean, then you're like, probably not gonna actually end up doing it then, are we? But oh well, that's fine. I don't think it was ever a bad thing. I did really enjoy the whole Sicko Survival world. As I said, I'm quite happy with the things that we did in there and did end up doing. It was pretty cool. Pretty cool. We did some cool stuff. Let's just keep it at that. I do remember building a crazy big creeper farm. That thing was ridiculous. This was never finished. Now, none of you told me that was not finished. Why did no one tell me? Why did no one tell me? There we go. I remember back then, that was actually when we updated to 1.16. That was like the era when all of that was coming out. That's how long ago it is. I believe it's like, what, 4 or 5 years ago now that 1.16 came out, which is ridiculous. It still feels like one of the freshest updates there is, since it was just such a good update. But yeah, that is the era where we were playing Sicko Survival on this channel. And then we designed the super good sorting system. I might one day build that in this world. One day. It was a really good sorting system. I still really like it. The whole idea behind it was pretty good. We're just like, yeah, I mean, if your storage is filled with one item so much that you can start filling it into shulker boxes, then it will just do it for you automatically. So you don't need to split any items in any way. All the items can just always go into the same chest, and the sorting system will do it for you. Put the shulker box full with diamonds in it, then it will eventually end up in the diamond chest with a full shulker box of diamonds in it. You know, but I really liked the way that system works. So we might one day build it on this world as well. But the problem with that thing was you need a lot of shulker boxes. But nowadays you can make farms for those things, so that's actually not that big of a deal. By the way, that's it. That's that done. And it does look a little bit better, those towers, I think, with that whole thing in place. It makes it feel more structured. Which is also making me feel like we really should be starting to work towards the point where we start building the inside walls and stuff like that. I think that's gonna help a lot with the with solidifying, so to say, this building, like making it feel solid. But yeah, we'll have to see when we're gonna do that. Not just yet. Oh, I cannot sleep yet. I still need to make the entrance first, but yeah, I need to design that first before I can make it. There we go. Sleep and drink some water. But once we have that entrance, well, maybe I will actually start working on the inside walls first as well. I don't really know. I need to decide how wide I want these things to be, which I think is probably going to be 5 blocks. I feel like that's pretty good. That's a pretty solid amount of blocks for it to be wide, right? And then how we're going to do it is definitely, so let's say it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Here. Then we're going to have that crowning pattern on that side again as well, where it's like this on the other side. I think that is going to make it feel really solid when you walk around here. And then we need to somehow make it so that here there's an entrance to the tower. I think that is the best way. And maybe I connect these two up so that there's a pathway here as well, and then you can just enter the tower here. That might be a cool idea as well to finish it off, like just kind of have like an entrance area here with then the stairs in it. I think that might be pretty cool, a pretty cool way to make it solid, but not the same as the outsides are, so to say. So yeah, we might end up doing it like that, but we'll have to see, we'll have to see. Anyway, as I was saying, I kind of want to start doing the whole terraforming thing now. It's gonna be interesting, very interesting to do that. Let's just dump all of this in here for now, because I don't feel like sorting it out just yet. And let's see. So I'm not gonna need any wood. I am gonna need dirt. I'm gonna need probably all of these, because they have stone and cobblestone in there. And let's just fly over here. So this is a good point of reference to see what I'm doing, right? Here we have those, which are probably not going to be used. So let's move away from them. Here we have that one, definitely going to be used. Cobblestone also, maybe? I don't actually know. I don't know if I'm going to use cobblestone. Stone, definitely though. Yeah, I think we need to mine this out, probably. And then it needs to be, you know, the upward slope needs to be connected like that. So that it makes sense. As I said, I really like the natural terrain that we got going on here. And I want to continue it. And I want to continue it so that it makes sense. But I do think this whole portion needs to go right here, so that it actually shows what we're looking at. So I think I'm going to start off with that. Now we got an ender chest here, which we're going to use. Oh. Okay, I might not have to mine as much as I thought, but that's fine. We're gonna place it down here, and we're gonna build a little. Oh, that was a bit stupid. We're gonna build a bit of a area here with shock boxes and stuff. There we go. Boom. Because I think we're gonna need it to store away a lot of the items that we're about to get here, so to say. What's in this one? Okay, just random stuff. I don't really know why. Gunpowder and paper. Well, that's great. I'm not gonna run out of rock. Oh wow, I really made a lot of rockets. I also have a lot of chicken. My goodness, I'm rich. Anyway, so yeah, let's get started on digging all of this out. Now, I do want a smooth transformation here. I also am gonna quickly go here and dig out this, because, you know, for what we're building right now, that doesn't make much sense. And it also needs a smooth transformation into this area, right? So it's gonna be kind of short here and then going around here. We'll have a little bit more land sticking out, so to say. I am gonna need my dirt here so that I can start, you know, like building here. Kind of, how do you say that? Oh, I forgot the words. I really did just completely forget the word. Then lining it out, I suppose it's not the word I'm looking for, but it will do for now. We're gonna have the rough line outs here for how this is going to be looking. And we're gonna make it a little bit random, so to say. If it's sticking out in some portions, there we go. And then boom, 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 boom. And the way I'm seeing this, like, in my head, is that it's not gonna go down like a normal hill where it goes slightly up, It's actually gonna go curving back inwards on itself, so to say. So it's gonna be cliffy. And then here, I think we'll be making it more into a hill again. I think. which will mean that we have to remove like a lot of the trees and stuff like this. We'll have to terraform all of the area here down below as well. But that's fine. We're not actually gonna go further than this either. This was just a general line out, so to say. So this is gonna be curving inwards here, which actually means we're gonna be removing all of this as well. I think this is pretty good, and we kind of just want it to continue like this up until that point. So it will basically be connected, right, to each other, like so. And then at some point here, around here, it will start turning into stone, and then it will curve in more and more. Which is going to be a little bit tricky, but I think it should be quite doable. Now, as I said, I want to dig out all of this, and I think I'm going to make basically a line first here, like where we're going to dig. Which I do need to be allowed to be able to mine. There we go. Basically a line, and we're gonna dig out this first, and then we'll terraform it so that this and this matches up. But we'll still first just mine out all of this, so that you know, this is all gone. This is gonna be gone anyway, and from that line forward, it's gonna be less and less gone, and more land, so to say. So it's gonna transition, right? But this is the first part, and this is just all gonna go. So we don't need to be worried about leaving any of this behind. I think this should all just be water, so to say, because oh wow, I can now unlock sandstone recipe. That's good. Now I can finally, you know, make the whole sandcastle building, the Coratorium, I guess. Oh, I don't have the beacon effect here. All right. It's just on the edge. Okay, I will take the beacon with me. Can I? Oh, little water bucket collapse. Did you see that? Yeah, we're taking this guy with me. It's time to say goodbye to the mine for a little while. Oh, iron recipe. Oh, amazing. How amazing. Yeah. We're gonna take this guy upstairs, make it there, because it's now just time to start moving it a little bit more and bring it actually to where I'm needing it, right? I think I'm starting to dig out enough area now that it makes sense. It makes sense. It will be a bit annoying when I have to move it back down here, because, you know, that's just a lot of work, I suppose. That I don't think more needs to be said here. But yeah, whatever. This is incredibly painfully slow though. That is always the problem. And in this version I cannot blow up items yet, I believe, because TNT doesn't have 100% drop rate yet. Which is unfortunate, but whatever. Otherwise I could just blow it up. Probably wouldn't work all that well either, by the way. I don't think it will work at all, because iron has pretty high blast resistance, but still, you know, I could, and that's the part that matters. But now I cannot, which is the part that matters. Yeah, that made sense. That made sense. Anyway, almost done here. Just a bit more. Like a lot of items still in these chests. Probably not, right? No. Well, a little bit. Get a little bit of diamonds there. That's not too bad. Right, there we go. There we go. And wobble-a-bim, wobble-a-boom, wobble-a-boom. Let's see if I can fly up through here. There we go. Ooh, oh, that's the wrong direction. I think I'm just gonna make it in the water here, because why not? It will be nicely. Thank you. Okay. It will be nicely in the middle, so to say. I believe it needs to be 4 high. There we go. Yeah, nicely in the middle of these two areas, which I'm both gonna be digging out, right? So I think that makes sense. Boom, 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 boom. And boom, there we go. Now we just need to put it up. There we go. There we go. Let's just make all of the outlines. Why not? While we're at it. Boop, 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 boop. No, wait. There we go. And now make the complete floor, and then it's just a matter of filling it all in. Always takes a little bit of time doing this. But hey, it's very much worth it, I think, since, you know, I can insta-mine blocks while bandits. There we go. Let's sleep away the night and drink some more water again. Boom. Get rid of the bed because it's in the way. There we go. Here, just need to fill it in. There we go. Okay, now I do need a little nugget of something. I probably just have some of it laying around somewhere. I mean, I don't even know how that happened. Hey, what happened to my achievements? Did all of them go? Why is it starting out with nether? I'm very confused. What? Oh, yeah, they got resetted, didn't they? At some point. I guess I'm never getting that one. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. The fact that I just got an iron ingot in the first chest that I opened is so ridiculous. But there we go. Alright, now we have haste. Which is nice, because I could already insta-mine dirt, but now I can do it cooler. Okay, where's that ghost block? There we go. Oh, this is gonna be awful. This is going to be awful. I'm just gonna ignore them and then lock in and lock out when I'm done. And then get them all in one go. Because, well, yeah, ghost blocks. Ghost blocks, hey? Anyway, look at that. At least I can insta-mine these now. Even when they're not doing it all of the time, that's fine. Now, maybe having like a little beach area here would be cool, I suppose. But I don't know, I think I'm just gonna get rid of it all, to be honest. I just want the whole cliff here to be cliffing, you know. And this needs to be cut out in a second as well. Okay, we're doing the line first, okay? The line comes first. There we go. Now, of course, to make it look better when it's all underwater, you should kind of make it so that it's not just one deep. So we're probably gonna have to dig a little hole within it as well, so not just make it leveled with the water, a little bit deeper, in order to really sell the feeling of it actually being water, right? Like this is also not one deep. So let's quickly relog here. There we go. Because there's gonna be some blocks floating around. I mean, yeah, look at that. Stupid little guys. I still can reach them now, so there we go. So yeah, let's cut this down. Before we let in the water, we're kind of just gonna create little depths in it already, right? That's the way to go here, I think. So first make it completely leveled here. I think keeping this ravine here is actually quite cool. Just a little underwater ravine. Doesn't hurt, I don't think. Yeah, the gravel's quite easy to mine out a little bit of that next layer, right? So let's just do it like this. Actually, I'm just gonna make it all too deep, and then I think it will be already pretty decent, actually. Maybe at some point just a little bit deeper than 2. But not too much. Alright, and now we're gonna let in all of the water. And it will be annoying probably to make it all watery. But that's fine. That's fine. We'll help the water in a second. Oh goodness. Oh, it's actually showing me where the ghost blocks are though. That's pretty nice. Still annoying though. There we go. Oh. There we go. Ifter is full. Hold on. Oh, let me fly. Thank you. Dirt. Don't need some of it though. Stone. Don't need any of it. Extra. There we go. Creeper. Uh-oh. Alright. There we go. And there we go. And now it's just a big old hole with some water in it. I know, but we can fix it in a second here. Because I have 2 water buckets. I know. Crazy. Right, so I do believe we need to first fix the lowest layer here, right? So we're just gonna go like this. Boom. 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 There we go. That is 1 layer of it down. Now this I don't care about. That we'll ignore. There we go. Now we need this layer to be correct. So like that needs to be done. That every nook and cranny until it's all permawater. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay, look at that. Nice. That was pretty smooth. We'll actually remove these. There we go. Now we need to do the same here. So there. And when I do this, it will start filling it all itself in. There we go. Look at that. That was actually pretty decent, I would say. There we go. And now to fill all in of this in is annoying. So what we're actually gonna do instead is just cover it up first, so that the water will flow here. And then remove it. Because that, well, first of all, will be quite laggy, but that's fine. We'll make it so that the water will look like it's completely filled, but it is not actually completely filled. There we go. You see? It's pretty cool, right? And I can just remove it. And they will act like they're normal. Now, when I'm underwater, I will get all kinds of currents going on, but that's not a bad thing. Like, I don't need to care about that because I'm not gonna be in the water here. There we go. Look at that. Now it looks kind of just normal here. I mean, if you're really gonna look with detail in it, it still isn't that normal, of course, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, and now to transform all of this into what I was talking about earlier, right? I think this kind of needs to go. This staying. With this also going. And then we kind of need to cut in here, I suppose. Well, no, I'm just gonna make this flow better with each other. So I'm gonna actually start filling this area up. Also this. Just cover it up. And how we'll do it is we'll make it flow from there to here. So it'll be like this. This will all be a bit lower. Just a little bit. Then we'll keep the ravine, I guess. And it's gonna be a little bit tricky here. This all needs to be a little bit lower still though. Like it needs to go from this to that on this side, so to say. So this will keep here. And actually I think I'm gonna cover up the ravine here like so. There we go. So like this. Do that. So that's that gone. That's gone. Cool. And then we kind of just, you know, connect these systems up, so to say. With just a little bit of terraforming here. There we go. And this will all, of course, at some point become grass on its own. I don't need to be worried about that at all. Which is nice. Now I do probably need to build a little bit below it, but maybe I don't. Maybe it will look fine without having really built below it. Now we're gonna start off with just straight up doing that. And actually taking it out in those lines as well here. And then we're gonna make those lines look more natural, of course. Because, well, this doesn't look great right now. There we go. make it curve around here. This looks pretty good here. Actually want it to still be quite cliffy, so to say. So this is pretty good. I think I kind of like it like this, because then it kind of just looks like a natural occurring little underground area here, which isn't a bad thing, I don't think. So there we go. And then it starts flowing into here. So this still needs to be cut down so that it reveals the stone, which makes sense here. And here it starts becoming more and more land, let's say. So we start expanding this here so that it's not so steep at this point anymore. And then we cover it all up so that it starts looking more and more natural once again. So like that. And we just kind of keep on going like this, expanding it one layer at a time. Just like so. Really quite simple, right? And I do believe this will actually look pretty decent when I'm done here. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a reserve area up here, like that. Just to really transition the point of cliffiness to the point of just hilliness. Let's sleep away the night real quick. So yeah, there's a good transition from it being a hill to it being a cliff, I would say here. And this needs to be just more with the motion in a second, but that will come to in a bit. That will come to in a bit. Boop. There we go. And then this is where it starts becoming almost fully cliff-like again. So it transitions from being a hill once again back into being a cliff. So yeah, this will be flattened out a little bit. There we go. This is where this is gonna go. And now after this point, like right around here, will start becoming more cliff-like, so like this. And it actually cuts in first a little bit and then comes back out again. That's the idea here. Right, so there we go. Remove this. And we transition it all into this. Sometimes looking back a little bit. I mean, it's gonna start curving here anyway. So yeah, like that, I think. And I do probably want to connect the two cliff sides here, so that it feels more natural that this is all of a sudden here over here as well. And kind of what happens here is like this underground area has spread up to that point, but then the cliffs have also continued up to that point, right? I think a story like that would make sense. Now let's look at it from a little further away just for now. Of course, it's not near finished, but just eye it up, right? I think this is starting to look quite natural, so to say. If I can make that area look like that, I think that will look actually quite sensical, so to say. So yeah, that's good, but first things first, we do need to finish off this. So there needs to be more motion in here. And we're gonna create that by cutting into this whole, yeah, I'm sorry, this whole segment a little bit. Just to create that more motion-like feeling. And there we go. This of course needs to go here because that doesn't make sense. We'll fill up the ravine at some point. And then it just kind of becomes like this, I guess. Yeah. This already feels pretty decent, I would say. This become like, you know, smooth, let's say. Now, of course, at some point I will have to wait for a little while. He will die now. At some point we'll have to, you know, bone meal all of this area up a bit more, but I have to wait until, well, it's all grass before I can do that. Because right now I cannot. So yeah, we'll wait with that. Now this does need to be dirtified underneath it in order for it to make it look like it makes sense at least. because otherwise it would look really weird. It's just floating there. And I think I'm not gonna make it cliff-like underneath it. I'm actually gonna make it just be a little bit of an expansion of the ground, right? Like it's literally doing here. Because that is the natural way. Making it cliff-like is pretty cool as well. What's going on? Okay, you know what? Never. I'm just gonna ignore it. But yeah, this making it cliff-like can look quite cool, but there's a lot of effort, and I don't think it's gonna actually fit in with what we got going on here so far. So we're not gonna go for that this time around. Maybe a bit more dirt around it here. There we go. I think like that will look pretty decent. Like you see, it's just a transition from the water to the land, and now we have created that over here as well artificially. Okay, nice. Let's start working more on that cliff side now, because that's kind of gonna be the next step. This probably will have to become smoother at some point as well. I might do that, might not. I just want to see it first like it is now over there. But yeah. So yeah, we cannot have it be on that, so to say. Okay, I'm gonna build it up to here for now. And start making it be higher, so to say. Now this is always quite tricky, and you're kind of just going with the flow. And then you have to take a step back and see if your flow was good or if it was bad, so to say. That's the way this just kind of goes. There we go. That's the way this process just kind of works. As I said, I want a slight drop back first before we start going out into there. It's gonna be tricky because I'm limited in the amount of space I have, to be honest here. So it's not like it's gonna be a very big drop back. Actually, it's gonna be quite slight. But even the slightest one, I think, will be better than nothing at all. So yeah, kind of just like that, and then it transitions into dirt again. So we're gonna go make this pretty random. Like so. Kind of just like that, I suppose. And then we have that transitioning into whatever is going on. Oh! Ah! What on earth? What on earth? Where did you come from? Oh my goodness. Whew. Right. That was just random. Okay, so like that, and then it's gonna be like that. I think this kind of detailing here will be really quite cool. So like this, and then we have stone here, and even stone like all the way back here, right? But then it just drops back onto itself, and then it becomes dirt, like so. I do think every bit of dirt first needs a bit of stone underneath it, so we cannot just have it be all of a sudden there's dirt, so to say. That's something I need to keep in mind here. Now it needs to go all the way over there, actually. Okay, this is a bit more tricky than I thought it would be. Let's see, let's first of all make it all the way here. So this also needs a transition, but this is a pretty part of the hill area still. This is where we kind of start stonifying it, and then it's just like that. Like so, a bit of an overhang, right? And then stone drop here. Kind of like so. I think just like that's better. There we go. we go. Alright, and then this just all becomes dirted. Like so. There we go, so that we can grow nice bits of grass here. Boom, alright. Now this would be a great moment to have scaffolding, I'm gonna be real honest, because that would just make this way better. But hey, we don't have scaffolding, so yeah, it is what it is here, okay? It is what it is. I think that is pretty decent. So the transition here should be smooth. That's quite an important thing. But there we go. And I feel like I've done a pretty decent job here, but as I said, I would really love some scaffolding for this part. I guess we will just have to scaffold the good old way. With dirt. Alright, so. Let's see. We need a bit of an overhaul here. Because this is... actually, this just needs to drop back a little bit less. So it's gonna be a bit more cut in like that. There we go. I think that's gonna be way better. Like so. Boom. There we go. Oh, that's annoying. There. Now you really want to have the rule of 2 here, where you don't really want to have two areas be connected too much, I'd say. I don't really know how to say it correctly, but whatever. You just don't want it. Believe me on that one. So there we go. There. Then it needs to go all the way up to this point. Like so. Oop. Okay, we'll need to sleep away this night real quick. There we go. Drink some water again. There, alright. Quite tricky this all is. But that's the fun of it, right? I kind of like it like that. There we go. Now we need to transition it into here. Like so. I think that's a pretty good transition. There. There. Right. It's difficult to judge from the angles I'm doing it at right now, of course. But I think I've done an alright job here at making it a little bit cliff-like. They don't really know, I guess. Actually, let's just take a step back here and see if it is done well here or not. So if I were to go all the way to this island again, right? Yeah, I kind of like it. It definitely needs to be grassified up there, which will just happen over time. I see a little nook, but like this, I do like it. It might not be possible for me to really have those, like the in-ham, so to say, that I wanted so badly, just because of how short of a space it really is. Like it will be very difficult to do it well, I think, in here because of that. Like we have it a little bit, but it doesn't fully make sense just because of how short it is. So it kind of just is too flat at the point then. But we can at least create it a little bit. Like, yeah, I think, yeah, like that's good. And as I said, I really want to minimize the amount of dirt that is floating without any stone underneath it. Unless it's like that, right? So up there, that's just a bit too much. Oh yeah, that's in the game now, I forgot about it. So this is just a bit much, so we just got it down a little bit here. Make it like that. There we go. There we go. Just a little bit. Yeah. Oh, I am flying. There we go. Like that, I guess. Alright. Let's have one more look here. Yeah, I like it like this. Alright. We'll have to take a screenshot for today off of this, I guess. Because with that, I am out of time for today's episode. So, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. And as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching. And I guess I will see you all in the next one. So, for now, goodbye.